All right, today we are cracking the code on a real estate strategy that completely flips the script on how you're supposed to invest. We're going to break down something called the Birddog Method, which is really a framework for anyone who's ever wanted to get into real estate but felt totally locked out. Okay, so let's just get right to it because this is the question, right? This is the one that stops most people in their tracks. You see the potential, you see the money being made in real estate, but that barrier to entry, needing a mountain of cash or a perfect credit score, it just feels impossible. But what if that whole idea is just wrong? So let's just compare these two paths for a second. On the left, you've got the traditional route. It's all about capital, right? Cash, credit, banks. Your whole focus is on owning the property, which means you're basically at the mercy of lenders. But now, look at the path on the right, the bird dog path. This isn't about what you own, it's about what you know. And, just as important, who you know. The focus completely shifts from ownership to opportunity, and that right there is a total game changer. And this brings us to the core of this whole thing. What in the world is bird dogging? It's not just some clever name, it's a completely different way of operating in the real estate world. You know, at its heart, bird dogging is really about becoming a professional deal hunter. Think about a hunting dog, a bird dog. Its whole job is to sniff out the game and then lead the hunter straight to it. Well, in this scenario, that's you. You find the valuable opportunities, the rundown properties, the motivated sellers that everybody else overlooks, and you connect them with investors who have the cash. And for that connection, you get a finder's fee. You're not buying a thing. You're just creating value by making a connection. And look, this isn't some abstract theory. This is a real, documented strategy. The source material for this explainer makes this incredible promise right on the cover. Get started with little to no cash, credit, or experience because you can. I mean, that's the central promise of the whole method. It's all about empowering you to start right now with exactly what you have. So, you're probably wondering, how is this even possible? How do you operate in the world of real estate without cash? Well, this is where we get to the secret weapon, the foundational idea that makes this entire thing work, the 5 real currencies. And here it is. This is the big aha moment. The entire foundation of profiting from real estate without a bank is understanding this one simple fact. Money is not the only currency you can spend. Just let that sink in for a second. We have been trained our entire lives to believe that money is everything, but it's really just one tool in a much bigger toolbox. So what are they? First up is what's called relationship capital. Then you've got time. Number 3 is credit, which is really your potential to borrow. Fourth is debt, and that's just credit that you've actually put to work. And now notice what's dead last on this list, number 5, money. The entire model is built on the idea that money isn't your starting point, it's the end point. Let's break that first one down, relationship capital. You've definitely heard the saying, your network is your net worth. And in this world, it's literally true. Trust and a solid reputation can get you into deals and partnerships that a suitcase full of cash could never buy. This is where your credibility as a deal finder really lives. Okay, next up is maybe the most fundamental currency of all, time. This is the one thing everybody has. You invest your time to create all the other currencies. You spend time to gain knowledge about a market. You use your time to get experience. And that knowledge starts to compound, making your network, your credit, and eventually your money so much more powerful. This slide is great because it shows how all this connects in the real world. I mean, the assets you have right now are actual tangible forms of these currencies. All that knowledge and experience you've gained, that's time currency you've already invested and banked. Your credibility, your good name, that's relationship capital. Your paycheck is just one form of money currency. The point is, you are already way richer in these currencies than you probably think. Okay, so we get the theory. We've got these 5 currencies. But how do we actually spend them? Let's move on to the actual game plan and see how this builds into a real, actionable system you can use. The whole Birddog Millionaire system is built on 4 pillars, and luckily they all start with P, which makes them pretty easy to remember. Promote, profit, process, and people. This is basically your blueprint for building a sustainable business right from the ground up. Step 1 is promote. Now, this doesn't mean you need to buy a bunch of billboards. It's about positioning yourself as a valuable resource. You use your time currency to learn everything about a niche market, and then you use social media and networking to share what you know. You become the go-to person for investors who are looking for very specific kinds of deals. All right, next comes profit. Once you find a great deal and you connect it to an investor, you get paid. Simple as that. This can be a flat referral fee or maybe even a percentage of the profits.
Now, the crucial part is this. You take that first bit of income, that money currency you just generated, and you pour it right back into your business to fuel your growth. Maybe that's better tools, maybe it's more education.
Number 3 is process. And honestly, this is where you turn it from a hobby into a real business. You have to build your machine. You can't just randomly stumble across deals forever. You need efficient, repeatable systems for finding leads, researching properties, and qualifying deals. It's all about creating a system that churns out results time and time again. And finally, we come right back around to people. This is what ties everything together. Real estate is a relationship business, period. Your goal isn't just to do one deal and walk away. It's to build long-term relationships that are based on trust. Why? Because like we said before, your network, your relationship capital is your single greatest asset. Now, you can have the best blueprint in the world, but it is not going to work without the right foundation. And that foundation, it isn't a business plan, and it's definitely not a bank account. It's your mindset. The source material is crystal clear on this point. The biggest thing holding most people back is a scarcity mindset. It's that little voice in your head that says, I don't have enough money, or all the good deals are already gone. You have to consciously, actively shift to an abundance mindset. You have to truly believe that opportunities are everywhere and that you are more than capable of finding them and creating value from them. And this isn't just some feel-good, wishful thinking. It's a tool. This affirmation from the booklet is something you can actually use. Opportunities are everywhere. I am capable of turning them into income and wealth. You know, adopting this belief is the first, and honestly, the most critical step in putting all 5 of those currencies to work. So we're going to end with this. This isn't just an explainer about a business model. It's really a reframing of what you already have. You are not starting from zero. You have relationship capital, you have time, and you absolutely have the ability to build the other currencies. So the only question left is the one right there on the screen. You have 5 currencies. How are you going to spend them?